What is grit? How do you know if you're gritty? How do you increase your grit? How does grit tie into success? And what makes some people succeed and others fail? Grit is a book written by Angela Duckworth, a psychologist and professor. Grit is defined as passion and perseverance for long term goals. Passion involves finding something you're deeply interested in and care about, while perseverance is the ability to stick with your goals and keep working despite hard challenges. This book explores the concept of grit as a key predictor of success. Duckworth introduces the idea that talent and intelligence are not the sole factors driving achievement. Instead, she argues that grit is the real driver of exceptional accomplishments. One way to think about grit is to consider what it isn't. Grit isn't talent or luck. Instead, grit is about having what some researchers call an ultimate concern, a goal you care about so much that it organizes and gives meaning to almost everything you do. And grit is holding steadfast to that goal, even when you fall down, even when you screw up, even when progress towards that goal is halting or slow. It's about having a long term goal and consistently working towards it, even in the face of obstacles and setbacks. Throughout the book, she presents numerous studies and real life examples to support her claims. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you focused on it and thought about it constantly? That you worked towards it or that you saved money for it? For most of us, the answer is probably yes. So, for us, what helps us achieve those goals? Well, talent is one factor. Talent is how quickly your skills improve when you invest effort. Achievement is what happens when you take your acquired skills and use them. So, talent does matter as it feeds into the skill, but effort, according to Duckworth, matters twice as much as skill. In the book, Angela shares an example of an artist couple who were potters, but also enjoyed being painters and textile designers and jewelers and had a couple other hobbies going on. They eventually realized that being a jack of all trades or staying amateurs at many things might not get them very far, so they chose one thing. They gave up on the drawing and the painting and the silk screening and the textile design and the jewelry, and they focused their energy and effort on becoming really good at pottery. And as they focused their effort, the quality of their pots got better, and they were achieving better results in their business, selling more pots, etc., as their skill improved. So, what are your short term goals? Or what are your long term goals? What are your life goals or retirement goals? And how do you prioritize them to be able to achieve the success that Duckworth talks about? Well, any successful person has to decide what to do and how to spend their time, and in part, it's also deciding what not to do. I don't know about you guys, but there are so many things that interest me. I like reading and playing video games and being physically active by going to the gym or for walks and watching movies and TV shows, and there's just not enough time in one day to do all the things I want to do. So we have to prioritize how we spend our time. Duckworth shares an exercise for prioritizing goals. So, step one is write down a list of 25 career goals. I know, that seems like a lot. Then do some reflecting and soul searching and circle the 5 most important goals. This also seems like it would be really hard because you have to cut out the things that aren't as important to you and prioritize those top 5. And the step 3 is the 20 goals that you didn't circle, you avoid those at all cost. They'll distract you, they'll eat away at your time and energy, and they'll prevent you from fully succeeding at those top 5 that you're prioritizing. And then step 4, one caveat to consider with this is paying attention to any goals that might be a means to an end is step 4. So basically, a goal that sets you up towards progressing to the ultimate goal, you want to pay attention to that and do that. But anything that's going to basically pull you away or pull you in too many directions, you want to start to cut those things out and prioritize. Duckworth believes that it's hard to increase something if we're not measuring it and tracking it. So, for example, how do you know if there's growth if you don't know what you started? Duckworth created the grit scale as part of her research, and you can see that it's not very long. So, let's go ahead and do this. Don't spend too much time thinking about the answers, just kind of go with whatever your initial gut response is. So here's the score. Apparently, I scored 70% higher than other American adults in a recent study. So if you click this, it will tell you a little bit more. But these are just kind of general questions. So that's the only thing I would say I don't really like is it doesn't give you, aside from kind of that initial score, it doesn't give you some type of breakdown of like, okay, well, this is what your score means, or this is, helpful tips that you can use if you're in this score range. It just says like, here's your score and that's it. So how do you do on the grit scale? Let us know in the comments below what your score was, what you think of your score. Do you think it was accurate? Do you think that it's low or high? And what is going to be your strategy to improve it? Another factor that can be helpful with grit is our mindset. The book delves into the idea of the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, which you guys have probably heard of. Duckworth emphasizes that adopting a growth mindset where challenges are seen as opportunities for growth is essential for developing grit. She also explores how parents, educators, and leaders can foster grit in others, emphasizing the importance of creating a supportive environment that encourages hard work and perseverance. The last thing we'll cover is what factors or characteristics do gritty people have in common? Well, there are 4 of them. And one is interest. You actually enjoy what you do. Yes, most jobs have something that either might annoy you or chores that you're just like, I'd rather not do this. But overall, gritty individuals really love or enjoy what they do.
Oh, I love my work.
Number 2 is practice. One form of perseverance is daily discipline or consistently striving to improve, basically honing your craft. Gritty individuals would say, whatever it takes, I want to improve it. And if that's true, then what's one thing you care enough about to do 1% better tomorrow? Or a flip side of that is, what's one thing that you don't care about enough that you could stop doing tomorrow? The third thing is purpose, believing and knowing that your work matters, that it makes a difference in your community, in the world. And the fourth thing is hope, basically rising to the occasion. So, what do you think? Is success all about luck and talent, or is it all about grit and perseverance and sticking to prioritizing your goals? There's so much we didn't cover in this book. The author provides tons of great stories, examples, and cites a lot of research. It's definitely a book worth reading. If you've already read the book, comment below with your favorite example of a line or a story or something that jumped out at you. And if you found this review helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more book reviews and insightful content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.